Hey, hey. Anybody out there? I guess I'm a minute late, which is abnormal for me. I'm normally not late, but apparently I am late this morning. Had a little technical glitch with my phone trying to get it to operate correctly. It was behaving poorly. So we finally got that whipped into good shape. So, hey Martin, how are you doing, sir? Welcome. I hope all is well with you. Lily, quiet. How's everything over on your side of the pond? Are you doing well? I hope so. Hey Austin, how's everything going for you? Doing great. Good to hear, Martin. How you doing, Austin? What about me? What about me? I'm freezing. 5 degrees this morning. 4 degrees this morning. 4 degrees this morning. It's a little chilly up here in Alaska. We're very soon going to be getting into those minus temperatures here very quickly. Oh, hey, let's see. Austin Mankey, how are you? James Jefferson, what's up? Nice distraction from work. Well, don't get fired for this. Hey, Tim K, how you doing? Life is okay. King of Chuck, I'm off to work this week and catching up on a bunch of chores. Well, good deal, Chuck. I really appreciate your support, man. Damn cold. Yes, it is damn cold. Hey, Armco84, how you doing? How are all you guys doing? Simon, haven't seen you in a while. Hey, Simon, how you doing? Or maybe you have been here and I just haven't been paying attention. I don't know. 23 centigrade over here. I'm not great at converting that. I always use my phone. I say, hey Siri, convert, you know, and she tells me the differences. But what is 23 centigrade in Fahrenheit? I'm really bad on that. I really got to get better at that. So, never understood Fahrenheit. Well, I guess we're all in the same thing, you know. One scale or another, you know, it doesn't really matter. It's always the relationship of one number to another that affects it. But you know, Fahrenheit is based on water and the freezing temperature and the boiling temperature of water, I guess. I don't know exactly what centigrade is based on. Probably the same thing, but different, you know. And I guess that's what makes the world go around, right? Everything can be the same and yet different. So, Jim Hankins, hey man, how you doing? 2 old men kick the bucket list. Yeah, there you go. How's the catamaran doing, Jim? How's the work coming along? You getting it all back together and running now? Good to see you. 93 Fahrenheit for a high here today. Tim K, you must be like in Arizona or someplace. Getting it together. Good deal. Good deal. Glad to hear that. I always like to, excuse me, early in the morning up here for me. I kind of had a late night last night, but early in the morning, so I'm a little froggy this morning. Hi from Bahrain, Mo 911, awesome. You know, I went to high school in Bahrain, in Jufair, at the American, you know, the U.S. DOD school there, the American school in Bahrain. We used to live in a place called Yatim Gardens. We had a house that we rented there in Yatim Gardens. I really enjoyed being in Bahrain. What are you doing there, Mo 911? Are you military or are you Bahraini, or what is the deal? Centigrade is based on temperature of water freezing. OC is the point water freeze. 0 see, and that's like makes sense. 0 centigrade is where water freezes, where in Fahrenheit freezing water is at 32 degrees. I don't know why they would arbitrarily pick 32 degrees, but I guess that's what they did. Have to run back to the boat to get the water pump. Everything on the block is done. Awesome, very good. Very good. So it'd be nice to see the videos of all that coming together. 23 will be 73 for you. I see. Oh, 73 is nice. That's about perfect weather. I've been away in Vietnam. It's amazing there. Yes, it is. Pretty cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to visiting Vietnam. It's interesting how, you know, 40 years later and now we have good relations with them, whereas, you know, 40 years ago we were trying to kill them. Those of us old enough to remember that kind of stuff realize how things like that change. You know that school. Oh, you're Bahraini. Very good. Well, welcome. Hey, Smoking, how you doing? Joff says 2373. Okay. Fahrenheit is just stupid. Okay. I kind of have to agree, Martin. You would think, you know, with technology being what it is today, everybody in the world could get together and agree on one standard, but everybody's accustomed to whatever they grew up with, and so that's hard to change. I hope you sailed to Bahrain. You know, Mo, that's one of my bucket list items, Mo 911, is for me to sail my boat up to Bahrain. I'd love to do that and revisit the Emirs Beach, which I spent a lot of times, you know, scuba diving there, and have some fond memories of Bahrain. Hey, Andy, how you doing, man? How's Whole Shot doing? 36 Fahrenheit with our first good frost here in Virginia. Well, 36 I wouldn't mind right now. 4 up here in Alaska. Jackson Miller, hey, Grandpa, everyone from Southern Maryland on the Chesapeake. There you go. There you go. Good area. Good crab down there on the Chesapeake. Looks at an interesting sailboats lately. Tim, you know, as best I can from up here online, I have looked at some. I've actually been talking to a gentleman who has a boat in North Carolina that has offered to finance me if I can get him $5,000 as a down payment. So I'm trying to work towards that. That would be really nice. It's not a great boat, but it's a pretty good boat, 35-footer, so it would be pretty nice. So we'll see. As I get closer, I'll have more details about that. So everybody starts at 0, but no, Mr. Fahrenheit thought was different. Yep, that's probably very true. I had to change Newton meters to foot-pounds to torque the bolts on the engine. Oh, wow. Yeah, that I've not had to do yet, Jim. So what's the conversion of Newton meters to foot-pounds? I have no idea. I have no idea. Wow. And, you know, I have to say, a lot of the standards that us Americans use are kind of odd. You know, it's like our measurement. 12 inches is a foot. Whereas so 39 inches is a yard. That makes no... I don't understand how those came about. And then, of course, in metric, you know, 39 inches is a meter. 1.36 to 1. Okay, so basically a yard for a meter then. Say, or a yard for a foot. Okay. Huh. 1.36 to 1. Wow, that's interesting. Well, guys, I got a couple topics I wanted to cover real briefly. Title of this is Well-Behaved Men Rarely Make History, and of course that's sort of a obfuscation of the female version of that, which is Well-Behaved Women Rarely Make History, which is the real quote, but I stole it, so bad grandpa. And so I want to kind of to go from there. So what do you think of Delos's new generator? I think it's awesome. You know, I think it's awesome that they put in a new generator. They've got an old boat. They use a generator quite a bit. They put in a very good generator. It looks like it was well installed. They did a good job taking out the old one. But, you know, with where Delos is at now with their economic engine, you know, their Patreon and all that kind of stuff, you know, they basically spent 1 week's worth of earnings and replaced the generator. So it's not like it was a huge drag on them, or for that matter, even that much of a huge financial decision. It's not like going out and, you know, spending a year's wages buying a new car. They basically spent the money that they make in a week and decided to replace the generator. You know, that would be the equivalent of somebody, you know, at my level going and replacing a sump pump for 36 bucks or something, you know. Put it in scale, I guess. So one of these days we'll be up there, you know. One of these days we'll be up there. We're just not there yet. So anyone look at the property lately? Yes, we are having people looking at the property. And I will We have no joy at this point. I will go that far, but if I do have joy, I'm not going to talk about it until it's a done deal. So, but I'll tell you right now, we don't have anything conclusive at the moment, but we do have some people that kick tires. Nothing right yet. 36 yard. Okay, thanks, James. Saw Megan's first movie, got 34,000 views. Yeah, Megan's a lovely girl. Very nice video. I wish there was more commentary in it to explain kind of what we were seeing. You know, it was kind of like scene, and sometimes I got kind of lost. I didn't know where we were or what we were looking at, and so, but yeah, I thought Megan did a really good job with it. I'm really pleased. You know, for a first video, that was absolutely out of the park, freaking awesome. So she did really awesome for that for her first video. So, hey Philip, how's things in Louisiana? They got the generator 50% off. Well, you know, Reiko, that would make sense as high profile as they are in the sailing genre. If you own a company that sells generators to sailboats, you're going to want to do a bit of a sponsorship for them and you know, have them do that video of your generator going into their boat. That's just good business. That's just good business any way you look at it. So, smart man. Okay, probably not talking about me then. I got 2 Ryobi 2300s going to link them and put them in the engine hole with a blower. Run them in series. Boy, I hate to see running 2 engines, but make sure you definitely kick on that blower because those Ryobis will fill that boat full of fumes. Cute video on Miss Lily. I'm glad you enjoyed that. You know, I was surprised. I put out that video. This lost 10 subscribers, so go figure. And in fact, the view count, I did that video of me fly fishing, which I thought would be good content and people would like that. And I did that video of Miss Lily, and in both cases, my view count went down. So I don't, people aren't watching them. I get more views. People watch more of my live stream replays than are watching those good content videos. So it's just kind of weird, but. Hey, Mike, glad you made it. Tango Delta Papa, hey, what's up? Hey, Don B, how you doing, sir? It needed more commentary for sure. Cool video, though. Yeah, but I was just lost. I wasn't sure what we were looking at sometimes. I've been discussing that with Megan. I had told her the same thing. We need more of her in the video using a voiceover. Yeah, and she could just do, as I often do, that kind of voice of God perspective where you just hear this voice, you know, kind of giving a commentary, so... Ryobi, both 2 gals for 12 hours running. Well, that's pretty efficient, Jim. I just wondered, though, with the Lagoon 440, why don't you just go ahead and put in a real generator, though? You know, you could put in an Onan, well, you know, $10,000, $12,000. You could drop an Onan in that and then have it, I'm sure it's already pre-wired for that. So, just a thought. I mean, that's what I would do. They usually go into that, the back-facing seat. In the cockpit, the one seat area that faces towards the back of the boat, if you open that up, that's typically where the generators are installed on the Lagoon 440s. Yeah, Delos gets a new generator. All I got was a new Blackwater holding tank. I wonder which will get. I don't know, Don B, but, you know, if you need a new Blackwater holding tank, it's a good thing to replace. That's more of what I would consider a necessity than a generator. So, people are strange. Yes, they are. Love Miss Millie's video dog's name. Oh, cool. That's cool. Yeah, she's a sweetie. She's in the crate right now. She's not happy about it, but she gets so over the top, jumping around and excited when I do the live streams. It's just easier for me to put her in the crate for a little while and let her take a breather and take a break. So I had her out for a walk just a little bit ago. Short walk, you know, 4 degrees outside, but I'll get her out as soon as this live stream is over and get out and play with her some more, so she'll be happy. Nice thing about the new Cummins generator is that it's a diesel and relatively quiet. Yes, and of course then they're only carrying one fuel source. But you know, owning Cummins, they all make diesel generators now. So, but $15,000 for a 1K on price. Plus, if the Ryobi goes out, just replace it. Yeah, I see. $15,000 versus $1,000. Okay, you know, that's a legitimate argument, Jim. You know? Yeah, that's just a legitimate argument. Huh. Well, anyhow, guys, I've got some things I wanted to touch base with. I was watching a video this week done by Second Chance Sailing. I don't know if Second Chance is watching here. He's a British fella. And he was talking about, he just did a couple of videos about him going down to Cardiff and picking up a sailboat. And he had a humorous story about going down to Cardiff in Wales and picking up a sailboat. And it brought back great memories for me, because in 1976, when I was a member of my high school back in Port Washington, New York, in my first senior year, my second senior year was in Bahrain, my first senior year was in Port Washington, I was a member of our school's choir, and it was the American Bicentennial, you know, 1976, it was 200 years of American. So they did this exchange program where our choir went over to England, and we did some performances over in England. And in fact, we were being hosted by a school and a community in Wales called Ystrad Mynach, I think is the correct way to pronounce that, Ystrad Mynach. And so I have really fond memories of being in the Rhondda Valley there in Wales, and singing in that choir and getting to know that area. Turns out, actually, our family has a castle in Wales with our family crest on it. I didn't know that until I was, I don't know, in my 30s or so. But yeah, somewhere in Wales there's a castle with the Brooke family crest on it. So, pretty cool, I guess. It's an old rundown, you know, tourist attraction kind of castle now, but still, we went there and saw it, and it was kind of cool to walk through and say, hey, this is our castle, you know. Yeah, good luck laying claim to that. But anyhow, it was sort of fun thinking about Ystrad Mynach. I remember being in the town there. They had a pub called the Beach Nut. And it was cold wintertime when we got there, and the host family said, well, do you want to go down to the beach? And I was like, well, it's a little cold to go to the beach, isn't it? And it was, no, they were talking about the pub. And, of course, the entire community, you know, focuses around the pubs. You know, everybody meets in the pubs and hangs out in the pubs and socializes in the pubs. And so we went to the pub, and we drank a lot of beer. In fact, the one pub that everybody in the choir went to, we drank so much beer, they actually ran a hose from a pub up the hill and fed beer down to the pub that we were in, because we drank the first pub dry. If you can imagine. But, you know, there was like 200 kids in my choir, so, and, you know, thirsty high school kids that were allowed to drink beer in a pub. Wow, cool, let's drink beer. So we did, a lot. Anyhow, while I was there, I got introduced to somebody, and the reason why I'm talking about in this live stream is because this live stream on Wednesday morning is for a lot of my friends across the pond. And there's a lot of folks here from Great Britain, and so I was reminded of a guy I used to, I was a bit of a fan of and got introduced to while I was in Wales, and his name was Max Boyce. And a lot of you guys are my age, you might remember Max Boyce. He was a rugby enthusiast, and he sang songs like hymns and arias and things like that, and it was just, it was a lot of fun. And so, for those of you that might recognize this, he always used to go, Aggie, 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 hoy, 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 which I guess was a chant that would go on during the rugby games to kind of get people riled up and going. And so, anyhow, Max Boyce was a great storyteller. He always had some wonderful stories. He had an album. I used to have his album and listen to it. It was pretty fun stuff, but that was back in the late 70s, so showing a bit of my age. But if Second Chance watches this, I hope he gets a chuckle out of that. So, hey, Sealy, how's things in Eagle River this morning? You guys as cold as we are? It is chilly, chilly, chilly. Martin, there are diesel outboards available, but they're very expensive. Huh. What do you think about the white stuff this morning? No white stuff here. I got frost, but no snow. Did you guys get snow in Eagle River? Because you're up, you know, a little higher in elevation. Well, it depends on where you are in Eagle River, but I know there's dust coming down the mountains, but we haven't gotten any on the ground where I'm at. Well, we have white stuff here in Miami. Yeah, a little different, Jeff. I'm looking for a little bit of that Miami snow when I get there. No, I'm not into cocaine, but I'd like to get on some of those white sand beaches, though. Never found one. We'll check on that. Okay. I have a lead from a 1999 Beneteau 411. I have a lead on a 99 Beneteau 411. Well, share it, John. Dirty dog. You'll email me the info. Okay, excellent. It dusted. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know it's been dusting up at the higher elevations. We haven't gotten it where I'm at. I'm only at about 700 feet in elevation where I'm at. So, Jeff, I was in the Keys a month ago, and they were plowing white stuff just like in the mountains, and it was, yeah, from the hurricane, a lot of sand got up on the roads and stuff and got blown up in there. So, yeah, they are plowing it. Not quite as white as our snow up here. Maybe the kind of white that you guys get in the lower 48. You know, it's sort of interesting. In the lower 48, you guys get snow, and then along the roads, it gets all the snow grime on it, and it turns black and disgusting and ugly. Up here in Alaska, when we get snow, we usually get snow and it stays snow. We don't have that freeze-thaw kind of thing that goes on in the lower 48. And so when it snows here on the roads, they don't plow the roads necessarily dry. When we get a lot of snow, they'll plow the road and they'll leave an ice layer on top, which they'll run a special grader on that cuts grooves in the ice. So when we're driving on it, we're actually driving up on these grooves. Doesn't help with starting and stopping, but it helps with steering. But what's neat is the roads stay clean for the most part. A lot cleaner than they do down in where you guys are at. Houston is as close to city. Well, Houston's hardly a city. But I guess, yeah, I actually have a Willow Alaska address. I am about 60 miles north of Wasilla, Alaska. You know, everyone seems to know Wasilla because of a certain lady that ran for vice president, had some fame from that. But name of my real estate brokers is Geehaw Realty, Geehaw, Geehaw Realty. And for those old guys who've ever been around horses or mules or oxen, or up here in Alaska, sled dogs, you'll know what Geehaw means. And if you don't, well, then you'll have to ask. So I'm not going to tell you. So there. Interesting. Grooves in the road. Yeah, it works. Hey, Grandpa, I got on late. Hope all is good. Yes, Dale, everything is good. Not as good as it could be, but it's better than what it could have been. So, funny for you, Part A plane passed through a severe storm. The turbulence was awful, and things went from bad to worse. When one wing was struck by lightning, one woman lost it completely. Oh, well, that's not fun. King of Chuck, hee-haw. No, not hee-haw, Geehaw. G as in George, G-E-E, and then H-A-W. And Tango Delta Papa has it correct, left and right. When you had a team of horses and you were, you know, delivering beer for the local brewery or whatever you were doing, and you have your team of horses hooked to a wagon or oxen, you would call out G, 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 and that means it's for them to turn right. Or you would say ha, and that means for them to turn left. Those two sounds are very distinct. G and ha don't sound at all alike, and so it didn't confuse the animal. So that's what they would use. Interestingly, up here in Alaska, with sled dogs, they do the exact same thing. Sled dogs are very much a beast of burden and work just like a team of horses or a team of oxen. And so they use the command G and ha. And, of course, my daughter was a dog musher. And when we came up here to Alaska, it seemed like it would be a fun name to do. And, in fact, I take sadistic pleasure, actually. When I put together a real estate listing and I shared on the multiple listing service, we're supposed to give directions on how to get there. And instead of telling them turn right on this road or left on that road, I say take a G on this road and a ha on that road. And there's been a couple of times I've had realtors call me up asking me what the hell is a G and a ha. So I said, man, you live in Alaska and dog mushing is our state sport. You should know what that is. So anyhow, she stood up in the front of the plane and screamed, I'm too young to die. She cried, and then she yelled, if I'm going to die, I want my last minutes on earth to be memorable. Oh, gosh, I hear a bad story coming out of this comment. Tim K., I think I've heard that story before. Anyhow, one other housekeeping bit here, just to clarify things, because there's been a lot of speculation and nonsense going on. Guys, I've just decided that Donna and I aren't going to be an item, and so Donna is not going to be going cruising with me. She's a fine lady. I'm sure she's, you know, nothing wrong with her, no problem. It's just she and I aren't a good mix together, and so I wish her all the best, but Donna's not going to be sailing with me. That's the end of it. There's no big, great, controversial drama thing going on. That's the end of it. So people have been saying I haven't been saying why. That's why. We're just, you know, we're not the kind of lady for me. Not what I'm looking for. So I hope you can understand that. Okay. And now I want to get into the main reason and why I named this "Well-Behaved Men Rarely Make History." and this is it. I've been getting a lot of flack, as most of you guys know from reading comments and stuff on here. And I noticed a lot of YouTube creators get a lot of flack. The term e-begging is bantied around, and I just want to kind of address that a little bit. On a lot of YouTube channels, there are multiple ways that us YouTubers generate income. And one of the things that we do is during live streams, you know, such as this, people can go down to that little $sign down in that corner down there, and they can hit the little $sign and they can contribute to the super chat, which is available to them. And there's nothing wrong with that. People do that all the time. Today's day and age, it's generally accepted as being normal. In fact, on a lot of live streams, you'll see people buying beers and pizzas for people, and the other people in the comments are cheering them on. Hey, good job. People make donations to people's funding, and people, you know, cheer them on, and yay, good on you for helping them out and throwing some money in there and whatever. And and that's acceptable today. It wasn't beforehand. It was a new thing. It took a little resistance, but now everybody accepts that Super Chat's okay, and so people get on and they donate to Super Chat. Along comes PayPal, which a few of us have asked people to use instead because there's a better return on the investment. PayPal doesn't charge the fees that Super Chat does. And they do a better job of getting the funds to the creator in a faster, more cost-efficient, time-effective manner, okay? And so people like me will say, hey, instead of using the Super Chat, do the PayPal thing. It works exactly the same. It's just more efficient. And so some of us have used PayPal, and that's been generally accepted as being okay. That if somebody wanted to do PayPal, you know, people aren't trying to create death, murder, and strangulation, and they're not chastising and belittling and arguing with people because, you know, they have that interest. So, and then we have Patreon. Okay, so now we have Patreon, and at first that was very objectionable. A lot of people didn't like Patreon. It's e-begging and all this kind of nonsense. But it charges less fees, and it's a more efficient way of doing it. A lot of the major channels now are trying to or are being successful, very successful at using that. In fact, some of the channels like Delos and Vagabond and Gone with the Wind and stuff are making serious bank through Patreon. Patreon is now an acceptable way for people to donate and contribute to support their creator. So now along comes GoFundMe. Okay? And GoFundMe serves the exact same function. It's the exact same function. The only difference with GoFundMe is that the creator would set a specific goal and give an accounting of I'm raising money for X, a specific targeted thing. and it's up to people to donate or not to donate to. How is that any different than Super Chat, PayPal, Patreon, GoFundMe? They all do exactly the same thing. They all serve the exact same function. For people to have a prejudice and a bias saying, well, if you do a GoFundMe, you're a lousy person because whatever, I say that's balderdash. That's nonsense. GoFundMe does a really good job at collecting funds and dispersing it. In fact, I don't have to do anything with GoFundMe. When people donate to the GoFundMe account, GoFundMe puts the money into my account in my bank the next day. Whatever, Lily, quiet. Whatever money comes into GoFundMe today, tonight, it gets transferred to my account with a, like a real minor fee to do that. So it's very efficient. So my point is it not better to support someone's goals and dreams through a GoFundMe program than it is to buy them beer and pizza? Isn't it better to support someone's goals and dreams who's giving you an accounting and telling you how the funds are going to be used? Isn't it better to support that than it is to just throw some money at a creator so they can go buy a beer and pizza and get drunk? To me, I'm really disappointed in and surprised at the negative drama that's come about just because I put up a GoFundMe page, and I have seen other people have the exact same experience. It's no different, guys. Whether you want to do a Super Chat or a PayPal or a GoFundMe or a Patreon, all of those are acceptable ways of supporting a particular creator. So I really fail to see why people would have such a negative connotation to a GoFundMe, but it's okay to do Super Chat. That's nonsense. That's just absolute nonsense. It should not have any variance whatsoever. And so to those people that are having a problem with that, I think a lot of those people just really haven't thought it back out. You know, they haven't just really considered it. They've had their own personal prejudice that jumps in there and affects that. And so that's kind of what I was wanting to talk about. Personally, as somebody who has been a supporter, I've been a Patreon for a number of YouTube channels. Due to my current economic situation, I had to stop doing that. But I've donated to a whole bunch of channels. I supported Delos and La Vagabond, Bob is Selling Doodles. I've been a patron for a lot. Gone with the Wind and DJ Dives, a whole bunch of people. Carl and Jenny, I was a donor for them. I've been a patron for a number of people. I would much rather support a channel that has good, positive goals. In my case, I'm trying to develop a channel that's going to foster good stewardship and good advocacy for ocean conservation. I mean, I've made no secret of that. That's been my goal all along the way now, and something that I want to do. I would personally much rather support something like that than somebody who's just going out and buying a bunch of beer and getting drunk, or hanging out in a bar and getting drunk. That's me. So if you want to unsubscribe from my channel and you want to, you know, put up a bunch of drama and hate because somebody were to go ahead and do that, that's on you. But I don't see where GoFundMe is any better or worse than any of these other funding sources that are being used by creators today. And, you know, we have creators that people are spending, you know, thousands of dollars and buying them all kinds of drinks and buying pizzas and whatever. And that's fine. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't do that. But how is it that that's okay, but yet somebody else who's trying to use the money for some good cause, that's not okay? So, anyhow, I wanted to bring this up one last time, and I'm saying last time because it's my intention to put this finally to bed. And this is why there's been some changes to my channel in the direction that I'm kind of going, but that's it. That was my that was my men being badly behaved and why well-behaved men rarely make history. I'm just over it. Had a conversation with Bob a while back. he has the same problem. People complain to him that he's an e-beggar or what have you. You know what? This is a full-time job. Doing a YouTube channel is a full-time job. For those of you guys that don't do YouTube, it's a full-time job. Being a YouTube creator and creating videos, and it's not just, you know, the hours you spend editing and the hours you spend learning to editing. It's the filming, it's the planning, it's the dealing with the comments and all. It's a full-time job, guys. So I think it's good that people are showing respect for that. Anyhow, let's go ahead and leave it with that. Now, I know I missed a whole bunch of comments in my little rant there. So if you had something, please, if you had a question and I missed it, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and re-ask it again so I can catch up with things, because it's just going to be crazy going back up here and trying to redo all this. But I'm going to start. Don B. Being older than rocks and dirt, I find it hard to see donations going to buy cameras, boats, etc. instead of charities. Clearly, I'm old school and not in step with the new normal, but that's me. I guess, Don B., you know, it depends on what your charity is. If you're trying to support a creator who is creating content that you're consuming, then I think it's only fair that they be, you know, assisted. And the realities of it are, creators have expenses. We have to maintain electronics, which is hard to do in a saltwater environment. I'm lucky up here in Alaska right now. I'm not in a saltwater environment, but I'm sure once I get on board, I'm going to burn through a lot of equipment, and so that's a legitimate expense. You're constantly having to replace stuff. So I guess it, you know, depends on your definition of a charity. Chris, let's move on. I agree. Like I said, people are strange. Hey, Second Chance, glad to see you made it here. I was talking about you earlier. You may want to go back and rewatch the beginning of this. A few spoil your view channel. A friend was watching you today with me and he said it's starting to slow. Starting to show. Yeah, I am. It's hard to have a thick skin and not deal with that kind of stuff, but that's the only problem I had with you. And by the way, on Donna's post, I had only asked why you deleted it. Yeah, I deleted it because it just didn't, it wasn't applicable, and I just don't have patience anymore for things that aren't positive. So let's just be hopeful it'll work out. Yep, there you go. I'm sure the other 60 watching know your heart. Yes, thanks, Second Chance. Lily was just saying she agreed with you. Yes, she is. She's very vocal, isn't she? There have been islands seen from space that when investigated were a bunch of plastic floating together. That's right, Jim, yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of plastic gyres right now. So, in fact, there's a big storm out off of the coast of Alaska right now, and it's just grinding that plastic up into more microparticles. So, Jeff says, I'm in the film business. Video is difficult and expensive. Editing a 20-minute video can take days, especially if you want a quality video. Jeff, typically it's an hour a minute. That's the ratio I look at. I'm usually spending an hour on every minute of video that I produce. So, you must concede that the majority of YouTubers are younger, with a younger audience, and are more amused by nonsense with shock value. Alcohol, wine, and sex sells to the youngsters. Well, yeah, certainly boat drinks. I do get that. But, you know, YouTube is just like, you know, planet Earth. There's room for all of us. And more and more people are getting on YouTube. More and more seniors are getting on YouTube and watching videos now. So, I think there's room for everybody. Spending less time in making derogatory comments about other successful sailing channels, and you might be more likable. You know, Barry, let me talk about that, because you're referring to the comments that I made about Bob and the negative comments about Bob and what he was doing. I think a lot of people misunderstand the motivation behind my comments. I think Bob made some bad choices, and I made those public. Because I have a responsibility to my viewers and to people that ask me what my opinion is, and I'm going to give it to them, my honest opinion. Evidence has been pretty clear that I was correct. You don't leave a boat with sails on and the dinghy in the water in hurricane season in Puerto Rico, and the results happened. But here's the thing. I did that because I like Bob, and I want Bob to be the best Bob that he is. I'm not saying those things to put Bob down and give him a problem. people don't seem to understand, and you know, maybe you're a young guy, I don't know, but as a father and as a grandfather, sometimes we have to do a little tough love, and so that's where that was coming from, however you may have interpreted it. I know there's some people out here that are haters of mine because I gave Bob a hard time. Well, you know what? Bob and I still communicate. In fact, I was woken up this morning by a text message from Bob. So, go figure, huh? Why don't I buy a boat in Alaska? Because it's too friggin' cold. And boats up here are very, very expensive. And I did have a boat up here in Alaska. I sold it last year. It's just not the kind of boat that I would want for what I plan on doing. Peonies, did they grow on your farm? If so, how many acres? No, we planted them on our farm. And I only have about 500 roots in the ground, so about a quarter of an acre or so. Before this little setback, you were one of the best up-and-coming channels, and I know you'll get back to... Oh, second chance. As soon as I get on the water, man, my channel's going to blow up. I have no doubt of that. I have absolutely no doubt that once I get sailing and get actually doing what I'm supposed to be doing, my channel will blow up. I know the kind of content that I'm going to be making, and it's not going to be the same old stuff that we see on so many YouTube channels. Copy that. You went out and you're right. Get a hold of me. So I thought I'd ask. Okay, William, thanks. He sounds like my grandpa. Yeah, well, once a grandfather, always a grandfather. Sorry to all in chat, but we're allowed to have an opinion in life. Yeah, just because we're old doesn't mean we don't have an opinion. In fact, young bloods, you know, you'd be wise to listen to your elders because we have more experience than you, period. Sure sounds like you are. I'm not sure what you mean there. To donate or not, the choice is up to the viewer. Haters will hate, ignore the negatives, and press on. Thanks, Tim. That's what I'm trying to do. In fact, that's what I'm trying to say. This I'm hoping is the last that I have to address this stuff. In fact, I've been working very hard trying to put up some positive videos this week. I did a fly fishing video, and I did Miss Lily's birthday video. So, it's called Freedom. There you go. Which is his birthday today? Whose birthday today? I wished him happy. Oh, is it Bob's birthday today? I didn't know that. That's funny, so was I. Okay. Bob's having a live chat today from home. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad. Yeah, he told me he was traveling, so. You tell it like it is, and I agree with everything that you said. You're right on target. Well, thank you, Jim. I appreciate that. What would you like to name your boat? Don't know. I was thinking of naming my boat SCRV Anana. Now, SCRV stands for Sailing, Sailing Exploration Research Vessel. Typically in maritimes, they would use SV, which means Sailing Vessel, or MV, Motor Vessel. MRV is a Motor Research Vessel. So I would like to use SERV, not because it's serving anything, because it means Sailing Exploration Research Vessel. So, dogs. Okay, I get it. Thank you, Country Cruiser. I appreciate that. Crossing my fingers for sale. Oh, man, G-Mark, me too. Me too. I had some people looking. In fact, I had a nice couple ladies that came last weekend. Their agent said they're still mulling it over, so you don't know, but I've got the place looking pretty good outside right now, so hopefully if anybody else comes, we can get something done. So, video on negatives. YouTuber Sonny Narduzzi has a good video on negative feedback. Okay. Emailed you the info via direct link. Check it out. Thanks, John Dolan. I appreciate it. I will do that after the live stream. Hey, Ian. How you doing? Smeggy. You got to name the boat after Lily. You know, historically, men name their boats after their, like, wives, mothers, or daughters. Not their dogs. But she is the most prominent female in my life, so I don't know, maybe. Hello from India. How are you? Lolloping Lily. Now that sounds like a bawdy old pub song, doesn't it? There's that Waltzing Matilda. Dreamer, because dreams come true. There you go. French version. You have any old footage you can post of content of you sailing and diving? All I could find was footage of motoring, fishing. I did post some boat drinks. If you go back and look through, I do have some scuba diving and some fishing stuff there. Unfortunately, my ex-wife got 90% of the footage that we had from our Travelers in Paradise days, which has most of the scuba diving and stuff. So she got all of that footage and is not sharing it with me. So, unfortunately, I do not have that. And what I've put up so far is pretty much what I have. So, but at this point, you know, I'm really just pushing to get my ass down to Florida where I can start making some good content. So, hey, Jared, how you doing? Jared, I'm not going to go back through all that stuff again. I'll ask you to rewatch from the beginning. Serve with another E could be a good name. Could be. Just serve itself, yeah. I've always been a person of service. You know, I've always donated my time. 8 years volunteer firefighter in Montana. 7 years I served on the board for them, and served as a board member and to numerous organizations, civic organizations, you know, Rotary and the Realtors Association, all that kind of stuff. 4-H, I've been a 4-H leader for many years. I've always been someone who has believed in a life of service. So, sounds good selling Miss Lily, huh? The bitch on the boat. Yeah, Philip. Well, that's what they call a female dog. So, try saying that one only using. How about Panhandler for a name? Just kidding. Thought it was funny due to subject matter. That's fine, Farflung. I get it. I think that part of the draw to your channel may be that some people want the drama and they hope to see a train wreck. Yeah, actually, Tim K, and I've even had some people, you know, giving me all kinds of crazy suggestions of things that I should be doing right now. They are frustrated, and of course not nearly as frustrated as I am in my delay in getting out of Alaska, but I'm not going to do something that's going to put me in harm's way or Lily in harm's way, and I'm certainly not going to put myself in a situation where I get down to Florida and become homeless. I have to do this in a sane fashion, and, you know, properly, and so that's what I'm going to do. And that's why I, you know, did that accounting for the GoFundMe, was so people would understand, you know, what I'm dealing with and how I need to proceed. And I'm just going to work that plan. I have a plan and I'm working my plan. So maybe that some people want the drama. Yeah, they do want the drama. And I have been getting some advice from some people that don't necessarily have my best interest at heart. So that explains why I could not find it. Thanks. Okay. Yeah, if you just go back, or if you want to, Boat Drinks, you can look on YouTube, look up Travelers in Paradise. That was the name of our TV show, Travelers in Paradise. Search for that channel on YouTube. There's 4 videos, and there's some stuff that we did where we would go to like boat shows and do kind of found at the boat show kind of things, where we talked to various people at the boat shows about what they were doing and what they were sailing. And that's kind of some of the stuff that I'd like to do more of with my channel. So anyhow, something for you to look at. You might consider looking at those. Sounds like an old Twilight Zone episode, To Serve Man. Okay, yeah. Selling Miss Lily has a good ring to it. Yeah, it does. It does. How about get the hell out of the snow? Yes, that's certainly the main goal right now. Boat name, On the Run. Yeah, yeah. Snowsickle. Now, when I get out of Alaska, I'd like to kind of put snow behind me in my life. You know, it used to be when I lived in Ohio, you get excited, oh, it's going to snow. It was fun. You go out and shovel snow once in a while. Not a big deal. Lived in Montana, hey, a bit more snow. Yeah, it's fun. Not a big deal. It snowed. Isn't it cool? It snowed. It looks pretty, whatever. Man, up here in Alaska, there's nothing nice about snow anymore. Snow pushed it too far. And there's just nothing really nice and pleasant about snow anymore. So, it is pretty. You know, I got to admit, when the trees are all covered with some fresh snow, it is pretty outside. But you know, these days like we have right now, where it is 4 degrees outside. I don't know if you can see that. 4 degrees outside right now. And you know, I've got it up to 67. It was 50 this morning in the cabin. I got a fire going now, though. So it's warming up nicely, but yeah. Nautical Channel on Amazon today. Yeah, I've been trying to watch some of that. I guess I should do... Oh, on Amazon. No, that I wasn't aware of. And, of course, that pen just ran out of ink. I clicked it one too many times. How do you call it? Jacques Cousteau's boat name was Calypso. Yes, it was. I want to name my boat Blue Jacket. I was in the Navy one of these days. Huh. You know, there's another person named Blue Jacket. In fact, there's a hockey team named the Blue Jackets from Ohio. He was a Native American chief, so... Okay, comments are coming in. I'm missing them again. Let me go back up here. Keeps the snow away from... Yeah. Yeah, you saw those with my daughter. Okay. Jim, you take care, man. We'll see you later. Best name I saw on a boat was Change Order. I think it was named Original Contract. Minus 60. Yeah, Gene Mark, we do get minus 30 here for weeks on end in the wintertime. Bitter taste from a banana milkshake. I don't know how to tell you there, man. Oh, try to get Bob to name his boat Bob White. I hadn't thought of that. That's funny, yes. Yeah, Bob White. I bet you he's probably heard enough of that joke his entire life, but Snow, you either like it or not, and I love it. Yeah, well, Danny, you don't get 10 feet of it every year like I do. Hey, everything in moderation, guys, you know? Everything in moderation, so... But when it gets too much, it's too much. Grandpa's Revenge, that might be good. Hey, Kelly Binkley, how you doing? Well, I'm glad you stopped in to say hello. I'm glad you're here. Well, I am glad to see everybody here and enjoying and following along. I think it's going to feel good to get all this drama and nonsense put behind us and moving forward. And actually, I had an idea. Don't know if I want to share it. Yeah, what the hell, I'll share it. I'll put it out there. I was talking with, well, somebody who's in the chat. I won't name them. It's up to them to claim this if they want to. And they made the comment, you could go butt naked on your last day there and call the boat Sailing Mr. Pornstar. Oh, nobody'd want to see that, man. No, I would go from 2,300 subscribers down to 0 in 5 seconds. Home place. You need someone to take care of Miss Lily. Miss Lily will be with me always. Always. I appreciate the offer. I've had quite a few people offer to take care of her. She will be with me always. And you know what? If there's some island or country that doesn't want me to come there because I have a dog with me, that's fine. I'll go someplace else. I have no problem not visiting places because they don't like dogs. So I'd pay not to see that. There you go, Don B. Anyhow, here's the thing. All right, I'm gonna let her out. Just be forewarned, she's gonna be all over me. Okay. Woof. Quiet. Behave. Behave. Anyhow, here's the thing. Somebody was talking to me about the fact that I like to, hashtag free Lily, she's free, that I like to support other creators. In fact, I've always said anybody that's a YouTube creator, if you want to give yourself a shout out to try to build some subscribers on my live feeds, you know, feel free to do that. I don't have a shout out today for anybody. Oh, darn. there was some people that I came across that I was going to do a shout out for, and I didn't get them. I'll do it. I don't remember off the top of my head. I'll do it next time. But anyhow, the thing is that I try to be very helpful. And it was pointed out to me that some of the big dogs in the sailing genre are not. They're not necessarily doing much to be supportive of other channels or helping other people that are following in their wake, so to speak, to use a sailing, calm down, to use a sailing term. Anyhow, so it dawned on me that I'm trying to do this, and I hate to bring it up again, but I'm trying to do this GoFundMe to get myself funded so I can get on a cheap boat and start making good content. And the amount of money that I need to do that is less than what some sailing channels make from one video. There are some... Kennel. Sit. Kennel. Sit. These should just get too wound up. Kennel. Okay, let her take a break. Anyhow, so there are some channels out there that in one video, through their Patreon or what have you, make more money than what I am asking or what I need to do to move myself from here to Florida, to buy the boat and to get going. I can fund all of that for less money than what some of the YouTube channels in our genre make in a single video. And so I thought, you know, I should contact them and say, hey, here's my story, here's what I'm trying to do, and just see really where they're at. You know, I would think if I was in that situation, I would be doing that. If somebody, if I had, you know, a Patreon account built up where I'm having $12,000 a week coming in, $10,000 a week, and some, you know, fledgling guy had a story that was, you know, similar to me or what have you, I would jump in and help him out. Certainly. I think that would be good. In fact, I had one of my viewers contact me, who will remain nameless, and he is looking at a large inheritance coming to him, and he's talking about doing some philanthropy and trying to help people out. And, you know, as I've admitted, I've always been a person of service. I don't have a lot of money right now, so I can't help somebody out financially any more than what I was doing through my Patreon stuff. But if I was in a financial situation where, you know, I had that kind of cash flow, I would certainly jump in and help somebody out. I wouldn't even think twice about it. And so I thought maybe it'd be worthwhile to reach out and say, hey, you know, here's what I'm thinking about doing. And so, I don't know. What are your thoughts about that? Am I way out of line for even suggesting something like that? Or do you think that's something that might be legitimate? So, second chance. Yes, that was you. Yes. I didn't want to throw your name out there if you weren't willing to do that, but I told one half of the Vagabond was a bit miffed that the other one tried to give a shout out live for another channel. Yeah, and I don't understand that. You know, there's room for everybody here. I don't think any of our channels, you know, you look at Delos or Vagabond, they're only at what, 400,000 subscribers maybe? That's nothing. That's nothing. There's YouTubers with 12, 15 million subscribers. 7, 8, 9, 10 million subscribers. That's, you know, there's billions of people watching YouTube today, folks. For us to only have $400,000 or 400,000 subscribers is peanuts yet. We're still in our infancy. And so I think if people were a bit more, you know, co-conspiratorial and a little bit more helpful with everybody else, you know, the old saying that a rising tide raises all ships, you know, a little cooperation helps everybody. So anyhow, I thought it might be nice, and, you know, maybe some of you guys might want to put a bug in their ear too. So if you're so inclined, or, you know, put that suggestion out there. Maybe if a dozen people got on there and gave them the same idea, it might sink into them. So it would be nice to watch a sailing channel that isn't just about them. You'll be great, Grandpa. Well, thanks, Dale. I hope so. Helping others is not a zero-sum game. No, it certainly isn't. It helps everybody. So, My computer said my live stream was off. Was my live stream off? I didn't see it. One shout out from LaVagabond about a small fish like Grandpa would give him all he needs. Funny old world, don't you agree? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah, if I had the income from one video from LaVagabond or Delos, that would enable me to get down to Florida, get a boat, and get out and start making content. That would make a huge change in my life. And frankly, when I'm in their situation, and hold me to it, I'll be doing the same thing for others. So help each other in your life. You're only here once. That's absolutely right, Second Chance. That's absolutely right. Tonby, I'm in on Ottawa. Okay. Cold Lake, nope. Boat Drinks retracted a message. Danny, then you're driving into their money they could be making. Danny, like I said, there's so much market available. And no, I'm not. I am not going to be doing a channel like Delos. I'm not going to have a bunch of girls running around naked, and I'm not going to be doing a bunch of drinking. I'm not going to be, making alcohol on my boat. I'm going to be doing something different from them. So it's apples and oranges. It's not direct competition. And just because it's another channel in the YouTube sailing genre, there's plenty of room for everybody. None of us have scratched the surface even on how big this can actually get. So old school ways are about gone. Yeah, unfortunately. Sorry, excuse me. I've got to get outside and get ready for snow while it's light out. See you later. Okay, I don't think we're going to have that much snow. I haven't seen anything really forecast, but okay. Oh, many channels do shout-outs after they have met them. Yeah, they'll do shout-outs after they've met them, or they'll, if they, we did a collab or some sort of thing. I see in a lot of other genres on YouTube a lot more cooperation and collabs. As some of you guys know, I used to do a lot of homesteading kind of stuff. And in the homesteading genre, there was just all kinds of, all kinds of collaboration efforts going on amongst the creators, and it really helped everybody build their viewership and numbers and stuff. I'd like to see more of that in the sailing genre. It would really be helpful. So, hey, Barry, man, that's awesome. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it today. Just absolutely awesome. Yeah, PewDiePie, 57 million subscribers. Only if you use it on pizza and beer, not self-serving conservation proposals. Self-serving, okay. And comparing yourself to Jacques. I love you, Gramps. Just lighten up on all the criticism of other channels. Okay, Barry, I will try to do that. I try to be real, but I'll try to do that. And beer and pizza, all right. I will take $10 and I don't have a pizzeria near me, so I'll buy a frozen pizza and a beer with that. Thank you, sir. Delos made 30 grand this week. Okay, Second Chance, that's 3 times what I'm looking to do in my GoFundMe. What they made in 1 week is 3 times, so love your video of Miss Lily. Thank you, Kim. I had fun putting that together, although it was more difficult than I thought. I'm really not happy with the way it came out. It just didn't sing, it bothered me. So anyhow, did mean you, bud, but asking them to help a small channel, they won't. They're all me, just an opinion. And Danny, that may very well be the case, but maybe no one's really asked. So, like I think, it doesn't hurt to ask. All they can do is say no, and that, if that's the case, then that's the case. So, must be expensive in Alaska for pizza. Might be more than $10. Yeah, you can't buy pizza by the slice anywhere near me. So you got to buy a pie, and yeah, but that's $10. I can buy a frozen pizza and a beer, and that's just perfect, man. That'll I actually make a point of having that for dinner this evening. Must be expensive in Alaska. Yes. What does PewDiePie publish? Nonsense that mindless millennials watch. Yeah, that's true. That's very true, Boat Drinks. I agree. Has Delos to front you 10 grand. You know, Chris, I don't know. You know, if I was Delos and somebody came and asked, and it was a legitimate, you know, thing to support someone to get out and go sailing, who's going to be putting out good content, which has been my goal. And, you know, some of you people are going to say, oh, well, you know, he says that. But, hey, you go back and watch my videos. I practice what I preach. I've been putting out some of that content as best I can from up here in Alaska. You know, I've got videos on boat sanitation systems and how they work and how they can be improved, on plastics in the water column. I've been trying to do a lot of good videos. So, but I'm limited with what I can do from up here. It wasn't all that long ago that both Delos and La Vagabond had to park their boats and go back to work to raise cruising money. I'm not sure what changed to leave them flush with cash, but it could change. Certainly it can change. Yeah, only the rocks live forever, Don. Everything is, you know, change is the only constant. So, one thing I like about the Lily video is that you had to put a fair bit of editing into it. I did put a fair bit of editing into it. Yeah. A lot of my regular videos have a fair bit of editing into it. Like the fly fishing one had a pretty good amount of editing into it, but it was a really short video. So Lily was more chopped up trying to find footage of her over her lifetime, you know, from when she was a puppy to now when she's 2 years old. So, and by the way, today is actually her birthday. Today is the 18th, and that's what she was born on the 18th. So October 18th, 2015, she was born. Boat Drink's absolutely right. Okay. What I'm trying to say is YouTube income is fleeting. You know, Don, I don't know. I don't think so. You know, it's like saying YouTube is fleeting. I don't think so. I think YouTube is here to stay. It's certainly going to evolve a little bit, but I think YouTube is here to stay. Just, you know, it'd be like saying television or telephones are fleeting. They were around, they had a real long run, you know. No sliced pizzas in New Yorker, have you managed? It has not been easy, man. That's one of the reasons why I want to get out of Alaska. Now, I will tell you, there is a really good pizzeria down in Talkeetna, but they're very expensive. I mean, it's like $20 for a pie, so... And they don't sell by the slice. They only sell the whole pie, so... Oh, I missed something. Let me go back up and see what I missed. My guess is that the fear big channels have of promoting other channels is that they worry about losing sponsors if the channels they support are counterintuitive to their main followers. Well, Tim, you know, and there's nothing wrong with them being able to look at those channels and choose people that are not counterintuitive to their main followers. You know, frankly, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I would think a lot of the people on here would probably think very highly of Delos if they did something like that. I certainly would. I think it would be a good thing for them to do, and would build, you know, brand recognition and a positive vibe for them. So I would think that'd be good karma, but that's me. Delos Money gets money. They got a new generator, half price this week, 10,000 down to 5,000, and free T-shirts. Yeah, yeah. Happy birthday, Ms. Lilia. Do you know Korea? True Art Classic Music and Movies. Thank you, Whole Shot. Appreciate that, buddy. Get far fewer views on YouTube because those are, appreciate them, are fleeting. True Art Classic Music and Movies get far fewer views on YouTube because those that appreciate them are fleeting. I think, Boat Drinks, it's more of a expectation for the genre. YouTube is not the place for an hour-long documentary. People don't get on YouTube to watch hour-long documentaries. That's old media, which is over. YouTube is all about new media. It's fast, it's down, it's dirty. Its production quality doesn't have to be super high. It's telling a really great story in a very short period of time with an eye to the fact that people don't have an hour to sit and watch nonsense. They want it in 5 or 10 minutes. They want little tiny bites on a regular, ongoing basis. And that's kind of some of the business model, and that's the right term for it, business model for the direction I'm going into with my channel. I would like to do a whole bunch of entertaining, interesting videos, but yet ones, and I'm going to give you an example here, but ones that are going to bring about an interest and a little good stewardship and a little conservation, a little advocacy for the ocean. And I'll give you an example here. Chase's story is divorcing their boats. Oh, that's sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that, huh? Megan and I need to go start. Kim, you take care. Tell Megan I thought she did a great job with her video. About 20 minutes max. Yes, yes. Let me give you an example of my ideal video. If I was going to do my ideal video, what would it be? And I'll tell you a story. We were scuba diving in the British Virgin Islands. No, in Florida. We were scuba diving in Florida. And we came upon a cleaning station. Now, for those of you guys that don't understand what an underwater cleaning station is, there are certain species of critters in the ocean, like shrimp and certain types of fish, that serve a function to the other fish and critters in the ocean, in that they crawl all over and in through them. They go through their mouths and in their gills and on their bodies, and they eat the little parasites and stuff off of the larger fish. You'll see video of a fish sitting there with its mouth open, and there'll be a shrimp or something crawling around in the mouth, and you think to yourself, well, why doesn't he just swallow and eat it? Well, he doesn't, because that shrimp is cleaning and removing all of the little buggies and stuff off of them, okay? So we were scuba diving, and we came upon this cleaning station, and there was a little shrimp there. And the little shrimp looked at us, and he took his little claw, and we're talking about a shrimp this big, okay? He took his little claw and he goes tap, tap, tap on the rock in front of him. And we're filming him. We didn't think anything about it. And he kind of looked at us and kind of gave us a dirty look, as a shrimp can do. And he went tap, tap, tap again. And so we thought it was kind of curious. We were looking at it. And then he looked tap, tap, tap again. So with that, my now ex-wife put her hand out and set it on the rock right in front of him. Well, the little booger climbed up onto her fingers and started cleaning her finger cuticles. Okay, he was cleaning her fingers and trying to eat off and pick out whatever bacteria or microorganisms or whatever was on her skin. What a great story. And we didn't really get that filmed very well, but I would like to be able to film something like that, and because what a great story. It shows this shrimp, which, we normally think of with cocktail sauce, but this shrimp had a personality. He had something interesting. He served a function in the ocean. There was this relationship with other species, a bit of service where, he was doing a job. He benefited. What's the term for that? They had a relationship that was, what's the term for that? Anyhow, he benefited because he got to feed and eat all these bacteria and stuff, which obviously he likes, off of the other fishes. And the fishes benefited because they got all of these things removed and picked off of them. So it was a nice symbiotic. Yes, thanks, Chuck. Symbiotic. It was a nice symbiotic relationship. That, to me, is a great story to be able to tell. I would like to be able to talk about stories like that. So, let's see. Chase's story was really a good vlog for a while. Yeah, they did a good job. Live is a whole different ballgame. Yes, it is. Yes, Steve, the bag can only manage 25 minutes and beyond it. Cleaner fish will also pick at dead skin. Cleaner wrassies are common in marine aquariums. Yes, Don, you're absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Yes, guys, Symbiotic, thank you. Pornhub Executive Director of Newtown. I like the name. Okay. Hi, Grandpa's Farm. We've been watching you for a while, and we'd like to offer you... Oh, yeah. Okay. Thanks, guys. See me as a porn star, huh? Symbiotic relationship, Pavarotti 3-minute clip, a few million views. Rihanna videos, hundreds of millions of views. I rest my case. Yes, exactly. Exactly. But here's the thing, Boat Drinks. There's a big enough market for everybody. I don't need to have hundreds of millions of views. If I had 1 million views, that would be awesome. not every video that comes out on YouTube has to be, viral. It doesn't have to be. If I can put out, if I did that video and I were getting, 100,000 views, and I kept doing videos of that nature, and each one was getting 100,000 views, I'd be awesome, because I'd be reaching 100,000 people every day with a good message, and I would be generating enough money from 100,000 subscribers that I could continue doing that ad infinitum. So, not everything has to be a billion views. Not all my videos have to be seen by everybody. There's enough market out there. There's enough potential out there. Everybody can have a little piece of the pie. Nobody needs to have the whole thing. So, Python life. Okay, well, I guess there you go. Hi, Grandpa. Sorry, I'm like, hey, Anthony, no problem. Bun chicka bun. Chris, I have 67. Okay, thank you. I agree, the turtle won the race against the hare. Yeah, it doesn't have to be an all or nothing, thing. There's room for all of us to be putting out some decent content and getting some good response from it. So, and that kind of a video, because see, what that does is it raises people awareness about what's going on under the oceans. But it does it in a way where I'm not saying, hey, the sky is falling and it's your fault, and global warming, and I'm not talking about any of that nonsense, okay? I'm just telling a story about this little shrimp and how cool he is and what he does. And by talking about that little shrimp and how cool he is and what he does, people are going to start thinking themselves, that little shrimp lives in the ocean. Maybe we ought to start thinking about not polluting the ocean so much, and making that connection. To me, I think that's the key. And the key to that is doing that with a whole bunch of little tiny short videos, little 10, 15, 20-minute videos on an ongoing, relentless fashion. That's going to build the community. That's going to get the message out on a steady feed, because that's what people like today. They like YouTube because it's a nice, steady feeds of little bit of information. Not a great big documentary, big budget, millions of dollars, superstar people in it. None of that nonsense. The secret of YouTube is it's short, it's fast, it's ugly, but it tells the story quickly, efficiently, and there's room in this genre for everybody. So, what type of headphones are the ones on the back? My headphones here, I use them for editing. They're Bose. They're little Bose headphones. They're very good. They're very good, very high quality. I bought them at Costco years ago. So, Grandpa with a G-string. Yeah, no, nobody's gonna want to see that, William. In fact, I had to laugh. I was outside this morning. I listened first thing in the morning. I've gotten to where I listen to music first thing in the morning. I put on what's it called? It starts with a P. Pandora. I started off with Pandora, and the other morning, that song, Play That Funky Music, White Boy, was playing, and I was outside, taking a leak. Up here in Alaska, you live in a dry cabin. What do? You go outside, you take a leak in the woods, right? Anyhow, I was sitting out there, and I was kind of dancing to it, and I thought, man, if somebody saw me out here peeing in the woods, dancing to Play That Funky Music, White Boy, I'm sure they would get a hell of a laugh on it. So, yeah, but I'm not going to make a video of that either. Just tweeted your GoFundMe link to my 13,000 subs. Super Antonio, that is awesome, man. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I really do. I mean, that's awesome. And for those people that don't donate, if you did something like that, that's as much of a help as anything else. So, really appreciate that. I've been told something at work that you might find interesting. Okay? Pantera. No, not Pantera. It's, I just said it. Pandora. Pandora is, it's like a radio app on my phone, which is kind of cool, because with Pandora, you can say you want to listen to music by, like, Michael Franti. And so it'll play Michael Franti and other music that's very similar to his. And so you can have a channel of Michael Franti-like music, or you can have a channel of I don't know, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young music and listen to things that are of that same time frame and genre and stuff. So I kind of like that. So yes, Super Antonio, thank you very much for that. Best game you've ever played? No idea. I'm not a game player. Love the idea of your channel. I work with exotic animals and try to convey the message of conservation every day. Oh, Michelle, that is excellent, man. I'd love to know more about that. Is there not enough information, content in the public domain for you to use to tell these quick stories? Wouldn't be as good as being there, but... Okay, you're saying, can I use other people's stuff? YouTube really frowns on creators borrowing content from other people and monetizing it. I could if I unmonetized everything, but then there wouldn't be much point in putting the videos out if I'm not monetizing it. Let's face it, guys. All these people on YouTube are doing this for a living. None of us are doing this for free. You know, Bob and Delos and Vagabond and Gone with the Winds and everybody. Everybody that's got a YouTube channel is doing it for the money. I bet you there's probably less than 5% of the people out there don't have some economic interest in why they do these videos. Nobody in his right mind would do this much work unless there was some way that they could get, you know, compensated for it. So, I mean, that's the point. That, you know, you guys may not necessarily see that, but there are some people like PewDiePie that just relies on his AdSense revenue. But, you know, when you've got his millions of views, you know, you can do that. So, Pantera is a band. It's also a company that sells bread. In Ohio, there's Pantera Bakeries. Metal detecting, abandoned houses, caving, gold prospect, homesteading, train, anything you want. Yeah, there's all kinds of things like that we could do. And maybe I have been forced to do some of that stuff up here in Alaska, and I may do more. With respect to the shrimp and their habitat, let people know that they are sensitive to changes in their habitat. Oh, yes, very much so. And not just salinity, Don. You know, there's salinity, there's pH, there's the effect of heavy metals, there's turbidity. There's a lot of things that will negatively affect shrimp. So, yes, thanks, guys. Give me a big thumbs up, like and subscribe if you will. Ruby Rose does not ask for money. You know, 6'7", yeah, they do, and yeah, they don't. But, you know, like I said, there's probably 5% of the people out there that don't. Ruby Rose may be one of them, but I'll about bet you that's going to change in the near future. So, YouTube creators, there are vast sources not associated with YouTube. Yeah, but you have to have the license to use that stuff. There's some limitations. I can't just take somebody else's content and use it. That's illegal. There's copyright infringement issues. So I'd be opening myself up to a lot of liability to do some of that stuff. I can do some. There's some things I can get away with, but not on a regular ongoing basis. So 50 years ago, I made what was called single concept films on continuous loop 8mm film, color but no sound. Interesting. 50 years ago, wow. 50 years ago, I was 9 years old, but I started playing with video when I was in junior high school, so I wasn't much older than 9. I was, what, 12, 13, 14. We had an AV department, and we used tape and 2 cameras, and we would make videos. We had overhead things set up where we would put papers and stuff down and videotape them, and anyhow, we would do that and go out and videotape. I was a member of the AV squad back in junior high school. So I've been doing videos for 45 years anyway. Sorry, back to sailing. What is your opinion of the Contest 4042 wing keel? 1996 looked to be good. Anthony, I am not familiar with the Contest 40 or 42. I do like wing keels. Because there tend to be a bit more shallow drafts, so it allows you to access to more areas, but I am not familiar with that boat. As with any bolted on keel, though, you know, be careful of your keel bolts, and make sure they're being well maintained. Smeggy, you gotta go. We'll see you, buddy. Take care. Don't watch Lavag anymore. Lost interest after the cat. Oh, I'm sorry, James. I will say that their channel seems to have changed some. But 12 on Friday, well, Python Life, happy birthday, man. That's cool. You'll be 12 years old. Wow. Python is lovely, don't believe, and press we love septic tanks. Okay. Isn't YouTube for vlogging? Yes and no. Some people vlog, other people are trying to use it. There's a big push right now by the major television networks to get their content on YouTube. You can watch TV now on YouTube, ABC, NBC, and CBS. There's a lot of commercial applications for YouTube for, business videos and using it as a site to host conferences and that kind of stuff. There's a lot of uses for video besides just creators putting out vlogs and stuff. You can use other footage if you were reviewing it. If you did a video comparing other selling channels with commentary and reusing their footage, that is acceptable and very common. Yeah, King of Chuck, but I tend to get into I get into a lot of trouble, and a lot of people get mad at me when I review other people's channels. I have a bad habit of telling the truth as I see it, and so, yeah, that probably would not go over very well for me because, I tend to be critical of some things. And you guys watch these videos, you know as well as I do. There's just so many creators out there putting out the exact same thing. How many times have you seen a boat in the Bahamas go up and look at the pigs? Everybody takes their boat and goes to the pigs. It's like a badge of honor that, hey, yeah, we did that. Or, how many people go to Norman Island, or, they go to the Willie T, or, they go to one of the beach bars in the BVI, or, there's so many channels that do the exact same content over and over and over again. I'm tired of seeing the same stuff over and over and over again. There's very few people out there that are doing something different, thinking outside the box. So, to copy from one for us is fraud. To copy from a couple is plagiarism. But to copy from several is called research. No laws against doing research and publishing your report. Yeah, I agree, Don. I could do that. But, like I said, it probably would not work well for me because I tend to be critical, and maybe just because I'm a bit of a curmudgeon myself, it would be hard for me to watch a lot of other people's videos and talk positively about their stuff when, a lot of them are doing the same stuff. I mean, I don't want to see another guy change a bilge pump out, or I don't want to see another guy talk about cleaning his head and having to swap out his head or service the head on his boat. Yes, we all know it's a disgusting thing, but I don't really need to see that. So, what's happened to There's Plastic in My Beer episode? I can't find it on YouTube. Should be on there, Simon. I've not taken it down. I'm not aware anybody else has taken it down. It should be there. Message me privately and I'll send you a link to it. Why do you have World Cruise Destinations book in the background? Because I plan on selling around the world. That's a big part of what I plan on doing. Pigs are on the way. Okay. Yeah, since you're not a mindless viewer. Yeah, I don't know. Delos is doing so good work in Discovery has offered, but Brian has said no. Yeah, they have done some interesting stuff. I don't know that Discovery's offered for him to do a channel. I heard some rumor about that. I don't know. I don't see YouTube going to TV. I know there's some people that have been on YouTube that have started vlogging and stuff and have been hired by some of the the big money from television. I think we're going to see in the next decade that the big money is going to go to YouTube now, and I think television's in trouble. I think television is in real trouble. And they know it. I mean, I'm watching now, and like on Jimmy Kimmel or The Tonight Show, you're seeing them interview YouTube creators now. like YouTube creators are, you know, Bruce Willis or something, you know. You're seeing them interview PewDiePie or you know, some of these bigger YouTubers. And I just find it really interesting that, you know, they're now trying to capitalize on the phenomena that is YouTube. So, do you like England? I like England very much. Yep, I like England very much. Love your laugh. Thank you. They want to sell out. They won't sell out. Okay. Your story on ocean environmental issues is not a story being told in the YouTube sailing genre. It's a wide open market that is not absolutely dependent on being there. You make a good argument there. Yeah, let me think on that. I'm not getting into the copyright law, but most don't know it or think they do. Yeah, it's a sticky area. Better explain London. If you're born in the sound of Bow Bells, you're a Cockney, and rhyming slang is often used to keep others out of conversation. Septic tank is Yank or American. Okay. You have to pay for YouTube TV, don't you? Yes, but that's changing, Danny. Some of them are beginning to see the light, okay? If television can have their advertisers advertise during their TV show and they can carry that over onto YouTube, then television ought to be free because they already have people paying them to produce it through the advertisers. So Casey, Beam, CNN. Yeah, there's a good example. Yeah, CNN bought Beam that Casey started. But that's not really content generation yet. I mean, it's theoretical, but not yet. Lily Quiet. Hollywood is dying. Yes, they are. Guys, only the rocks live forever. And, you know, like the point would being, somebody said YouTube is fleeting or the income on YouTube is fleeting. Maybe so, but not in my lifetime. You know, television had a good long run. It ran for 100 years, basically. Or 80, 90 years at this point. And it's been replaced now by YouTube. That cycle may speed up a little bit, but I think YouTube is here for the next 30 or 40 years, and I'm not going to live past that anyway. So I think I've got a good wave to ride for what I'm trying to do. I'm a newbie to sailing and love your opinions and honesty. I'm learning so much from all these channels. Excellent, Michelle. You know, that's kind of why we do this, is so people can learn. So talk about Hollywood, please. I don't really like talking about Hollywood, but I'm not into all that nonsense. I'm a Cockney. Okay, good to know. Think you're right, TV is dead. Yep. Rhyming slang must have been updated. It was a J. Arthur rank in my day. Okay. I find it interesting how English is spoken differently in different parts of England, Great Britain, much as it is different parts here in America. You know, you get someone from Boston trying to talk to someone from the deep south, and they don't understand each other very well. In Exuma Key, there are growths that are very similar to growths that simply life began 3.8 billion years ago, and may well be the type of growth where simple life evolved in complex life. Amazing story. Yes, Don, I agree. And I kind of get what I'm seeing what you're getting at. Okay. You know, I look into it, but with YouTube, it's very visual. So I would have to be using other people's visuals, getting permission for them to do that. I'll work on it. Although, you know, right now my focus is on getting the hell out of here. But you're right. I could be doing some of that stuff from here. I can see a lot of the big YouTube channels being broadcast on television. Yes, Simon, I'm sure a lot of the television people would like to broadcast some of the big channels on television because that's where the views are. But, you know, young kids today aren't watching television. Mom and dad are in the living room watching TV. Kids are in their bedroom on YouTube. Although those kids have now been talking to mom and dad are beginning to get on at night. They'll look at something. Oh, they'll have an interest or a passion for something. They get on YouTube. They watch some videos about that. Mom's in the, and I don't mean to be sexist here, but, you know, mom's in the kitchen wanting to cook a roast. She can get on YouTube and search roast recipes. and how to cook a roast, and there's a bazillion recipes and videos on YouTube on how to cook a roast beef. And so that then breeds to something else, and she's studying the roast beef, and she sees the suggested videos over here on the side, and something catches her eye, and she watches that, and they expand, and they expand, and they grow, and they grow. And so more and more people are doing that. Television isn't interactive. Television doesn't have the suggested other videos that you can just click on and go to. It doesn't have the ability to click on links and research and get more data and more information on things. Its technology just isn't interactive and proactive like YouTube is now. It's just a better model. So, do I want to know some English slang? No, probably not at the moment, but thanks for offering. Political correctness. Yeah, people now want to watch what they want when they want. TV is broadcast. Yeah, exactly. I can watch what I want exactly when I want to on my YouTube channel. Dwayne Johnson will live forever. Yes, love The Rock. I do enjoy that new TV show he's doing where what is he? He's a football agent now. What's it called? Ballers. I enjoy watching Ballers. That's a good show. Frederick, you take care, man. We'll see you later. Love your channel. It's not like your basic selling channel. I stopped using plastic bags at the store. Awesome. And got some canvas bags. Don't melt like paper in the dinghy. Sorry to be off topic. That's not off topic at all, David. That's absolutely fine. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm always thrilled to hear that I'm making some sort of an impact with people. So you should hear the monkey hangers up north, Grandpa. Look up monkey hangers. Sailing related legend. Monkey hangers. Really? Now this pen is not working. M-O-N-K-E-Y hangers. I think my ink is freezing in my pens. My TV is just monitor now. Yeah. Maybe monetizing content while you are trying to build your channel should not be the goal. Build your base and worry about monetizing later. Well, there is that, Don. There is that. Graham's just get in your truck and drive and film. It is a big risk, but as they say, I get yelled at every time I'm filming while I'm in my truck. And then people yell at me, I don't have my seatbelt on. But you're right, I could be doing some more stories about here in Alaska. Problem is, guys, I'm 100 miles from the ocean where I'm at now. So it's very difficult to do any kind of water sailing kind of stuff. And even then, I'd have to drive all the way down to Whittier. And of course, this time of year, there's not a whole lot of sailing going on. Like I said, it's 4 degrees. It's now 5 degrees outside. Most everybody up here in Alaska has their boats pulled for the winter. So there's not, you know, they've got all their boats pulled out of the water and up on the hard now. So don't worry. I'll be getting some good footage out soon. I've got some ideas for some stuff. I'm actually working on a anchor video. You know, trying to deal with the age-old question of which anchor is better. And that's difficult to do from up here because I don't have anchors and nor do I have boats to pull them with. So, Graham's just getting, yep. I have a bed for you if you want in Texas. Well, thanks, Sailing Dutchman. I appreciate that. Was that you commenting on SV Zangaro's live stream the other day? Yes, I was commenting on SV Zangaro's live stream. And there you go, guys. There's a new live stream, SV Zangaro. He's a YouTube channel, and he's starting to do live streams. So, got to save the world and recycle something. Got to at least try, Tim. Thanks. Wagwan, hello, Pifting, hot girl, all right. Governor, you all right, mate? Oh, okay, I see Python Life, okay. You don't get a truck driving license and go drive a truck for a few months. You could make enough to go south and buy a boat. Yeah, I drove a truck when I was in college. Guys, I mean, just so you know, I do have 2 full-time jobs up here. I have my YouTube channel, I have my real estate business. My real estate business I kind of wound it down when I thought I had my farm sold up here. It was a responsible thing to do. I was going to be selling my farm and leaving the state. So I started winding down and moving my listings over to other realtors and kind of getting ready to close up shop. I didn't want to leave anybody in the lurch if I left the state. That failed that sale fell through, and now I'm in the process of putting my real estate business back together, which is proving to be difficult, but I'm doing it. And so I'm getting new listings and I'm putting stuff out. There's just like a 6-month lag in getting those listings and starting promoting them and advertising, having them sell, and then having them close. And so it's going to be tough for me for the next couple months. I'll survive. I'll be fine. I can always go outside and poach a moose if I have to. So I have 21 subscribers. Give me a shout out. See if any change. Sailing and a slice of life stuff. Cool. How not to buy a snowblower. Yeah, right? There you go. Yeah, and that's something that is, I really hate to put any money out. I mean, I have so little right now. I really hate to put any money out to go do something like buy a snowblower, because I know it's just going to be a waste of money. But somewhere around the 15th of November, if I don't have a snowblower here, I'll be in trouble. So I think I'm okay till about the 15th of November. I think I got about a month, but we'll see. Term by which Hartpupians are incident in which a monkey was hanged as French spy in Hartlepool, England, Napoleonic Wars, French ship, the type Chas-Murray, wrecked coast of Hartlepool. Huh. Okay. Speaking of monkeys, did you guys see that thing on the news today about that chimpanzee that was that ate its young? They had it killed and ate a baby chimpanzee. It was you know, what do they call that when they eat their own species? So not cool. Subbed Captain George 007. There you go. Good deal. Like to see that. Monkeys. Talk about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Remember that video he was in where he was drugged and the monkeys were coming? That was hysterical. Think that if you would make it to Florida, you would get yourself a boat in no time, Grandpa. Yes, Dale, I am sure of it. I am sure of it, but I just got to get there, and, you know, and that takes money, guys. It's 5,000 miles away. It's not like I can fill my truck with 1 tank of gas and get there. That's why I did that video with my accounting and breakdown of how, you know, what expenses I'm going to be running into. So, Python Life, can you make a savage comment about me, Grandpa? Probably not, Python Life. Sorry. Probably not. Anyhow, guys, look, we've been way over an hour. We're right on the verge of 2 hours at this point. So I think I'm going to go ahead and end this. I've got to run down to Wasilla. I got a couple chores I have to do today. I got to go take a shower. Grandpa's pretty nasty. There's a nice place down there to take a shower. And since I have to run down there for some errands anyway, I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Actually take a hot shower instead of taking a bath here in the cabin. So we're going to go ahead and pull the plug on this and head out and see you guys later. I do have a video that I'm working on. Like I said, I should have something out between now and Sunday. Maybe. See how it goes. In the meantime, we'll see you guys with another live stream on Sunday. And we'll go from there. So, anyhow, you guys take care and be good to everybody, all right? We'll see you later. Thanks, guys. Bye.